are here today sends a signal to the outside world that this country is a country of laws. We are a country of law and order. We are a country that does not stand for any injustice. We are a country that says that when you try to intimidate citizens of our country, it is wrong and you will be held to account. When you use that sacred trust of being an elected official and use that for self-enrichment as opposed to empowerment of all of our people, you will be held to account. And that is what this commission is saying, the announcement of this commission is saying today.
Being that the terms of reference includes both past and present members of parliament, is your party at all nervous?
Not at all. We have said, we had, and I'm sorry that I didn't raise this earlier. The fact is that we, in their defense, when the FAC first made this announcement, they wanted to say, well, it should go back. And on Monday of this week, we had a press conference, and we made it clear that we don't have any concern or any problem with the Commission of Inquiry going back, however far it needs to go back. The People's Democratic Movement stands on the side of what is fair and right and just. We stand on the side of the people of the Turks and Caicos Islands. And anyone that has ever done anything wrong ought to be held accountable. We believe that being elected to public office is a sacred trust, and that those that hold high office ought not ever breach that trust and exploit the people of the country for their own benefit. So we have no concern and no hesitation with supporting a full commission of inquiry that extends back over any period of time.
Thank you very much. There is talk of intimidation, the prospect of it. Maybe the evidence is not yet out. So in this regard, what would the opposition do to thwart intimidation that would prevent persons who may have inside knowledge of divulging information to the inquiry? What would the opposition do to prevent that?
More so than what we'll do, I think that what we have done, I mean, because during the day-to-day, I mean, we've raised this issue verbally with the governor, and we will follow this up with correspondence, with the need to have a more vigilant and visible police force. We ought to have an environment where people can get ready access to protection where needed. I think the first step is to make sure that those persons that have made anonymous submissions to the Foreign Affairs Committee have the ability to make anonymous submissions to the current commissioners as well. And we are assured that a process will be instituted that will allow persons to be able to communicate with the commissioner via email or whatever form they so desire. We will continue to as the situation progresses, we will call on law enforcement officials and take whatever steps are deemed necessary to protect the citizens of our country. And rest assured, I mean, we stand behind every citizen of our country, and we will do whatever we need to do to assist with protecting those that want to stand up for what is right, those that exercise, those that are true patriots of our country, that want to preserve our integrity and our honesty.
Good afternoon, Honorable Leader. I know this at this time is limited to the press, but I have a pressing issue a number of citizens would like to know. We know in the early 80s when there was a previous commission of inquiry, and the Bloom-Cooper Commission, we all know it to be. At that time, the Constitution was pulled and an interim government was put in place to govern the affairs of the country. What are the steps the British government is likely to do now that the commission is called?
Let me answer that quickly. I mean, to begin with, I can't answer what the British government will do. I can't speak to their state of mind and what their intentions are. A commission of inquiry right now is simply an inquiry and investigation into allegations. No one has been found guilty. No one has been, no action has been taken as yet. This is an inquiry and an investigation, and I believe it's a bit premature to speak beyond the investigation or to speak about the results of the investigation going forward. We'd prefer to limit our comments to where we are right now and the things that are currently before us. Do we have any other questions from the press? But as we we wrap up, let me just clearly say this here. We are in a situation right now where there are no new scholarships that are being awarded for this year. Yet last year, we were able to spend $6.7 million on one elected official. Right now, citizens of our country are facing the highest cost of living that we've ever had. That is simply because of the stevedoring and the efforts by individual ministers of government to tax you for their own personal benefit. We are in a situation right now where vast amounts of Crown land has gone from the Turks and Caicos Islands into the hands of non-Turks and Caicos Islanders. There are some people that have had small amounts that have been given to them, but the vast majority of the proceeds from those sales have ended up in the hands of persons that have been placed in a position of trust. Right now, our medical treatment abroad is 3 times what it was a few years ago, and that is simply because of this government putting the medical treatment abroad with some of their close associates. So all of us have been affected as a result of inappropriate behavior on behalf of government ministers. Our quest has been to ensure that the 7 ministers on the front bench of the government are held accountable. This is another step in that process of ensuring that they are held accountable for their wrong deeds, and that the citizens of our country can be assured that any current or future government will never ever have the opportunity to abuse that position of trust again.